guys, we are live. Waliwo kati anti sitegeera bifaananyi byabwe. Kati Cornelia sigala mu goal. Wide. Yeah. Hey. The recording. Echi? Tenaba, tebatandise game. Cornelius. Bagenda bugenzi mu good. Sigala wao, sigale utoke nagenzi. Olina by'olabayo? Para timu eno yokka. Sala plate. Keni pola pola. Sala plate. Kenny.
Wide. Serio. Up country. Wagenda kwa commentary.
A deep kick from the hands of Cloud Otema. The ball looked like it went back, but the referee's whistle goes, and it's going to be an interesting call here because he's calling upon the captains for his word. The final day of rugby is unfolding right before our eyes, and as you would have expected, most of the rugby faithful in Uganda are over at Legends right now for the title decider. But the Heathens, as always, are not short of support in the stands, and their usual gang, is here at the graveyard, and they are singing songs of old, blowing the vuvuzela, trying to make the boys on pitch know that the 16th man is already present, and they're doing their very best to work with the team, boost them in their morale so that they can see over this win. It was a different tale in this very same game week last season. The Heathens were already in buoyant mood because they were already crowned winners. It was one hell of a season they had because they played all games and won all games. It was not only an unbeaten season, but it was a season where they won every single game, every single time they stepped out on pitch. So to be here today and they're guaranteed to finish in the place where nobody remembers, the second place, is not something you feel they would have wanted. But well, here they are, honoring the game of rugby, the sport we all love, and putting up a performance against the Rams, who are now seeming quite revitalized in the final fixture. And Michael Kalyango brings in the big boy, Ochan. Brian. Audacious drop goal attempt. It looks clean. Is it? And the referee calls for a 22 dropout. You would feel for the Rams. It hasn't been a season they would love to remember. It has been one written out in the mud, not in the stars. And here they are today, already assured that regardless of the outcome of this fixture, even if it was a miraculous result where they managed to beat the Heathens, they will not stay up. They will be replaced next season. It looked like that was a penalty for the Rams. It seemed like a very clear high tackle. The referee seemed not to see it. And now Sean Basemera is on the run. He has Joachim Tisano, but Ozana Pileni becomes the artful dodger in that play and just pinches the ball away from the hands of the on-running, it was Aaron Ofoiroth. It was the Rams, terrific as ever on the hold-up play, managed to secure that turnover. Now Michael Kalyango tries to find the 50-22 at the expense of Cloud Otema, who seems like he has fumbled that ball again, and Michael Kalyango has found the 50-22 with impeccable fashion. Wonderful, wonderful game reading from the young man right there. Just puts it behind Cloud, who seems to be off patch in terms of concentration today. There have been 2 occasions where he has been caught acting rather dubiously for a player of his caliber and potential. But for now, the Rams have an opportunity to try and work out something on the line out. They've been very crafty in that department in recent games. We do not know if they will be replicating such displays today. And somehow they are caught for wasting time. They're caught for time wasting, the Rams, and the Heathens have won a free kick. Of course, the rugby fraternity joins Joachim Chisano and the Heathens and Joachim Chisano's family to mourn the untimely passing of his father. It was a very emotional post that he put up on Twitter, and somehow he's on pitch, working very hard, very honorable gesture, but you know that this is a man dealing with a lot of emotion on pitch today and still giving it his all, and we hope Papa rests in peace. Now Aaron Ofoiroth leaves that Rams line broken and hands out a very massive fend off on Opileni Ozana, leaves him grounded, brings in the twin, Nicolas Cato, steps 1 and steps 2, and the Rams are asked to release because his knees are already on the ground. Aaron Ofoiroth, how much the Heathens have missed that. He just breaks the line with so much ease, he's gone, and then at a moment where he's required to go physical, he does not disappoint. Here he is again, recycling now, bringing in, it should be Haba Champara. Here's Regan Mungu, does his due, sets up Michael Kalyango now. Opileni loses Shadon Mukono, so much is. Here comes Regan Kabogoza. Kabogoza with 1 step into Otema, he slides, almost falls, losing his balance, but he manages to maintain. Now here's Regan Mungu again, the Rams doing something, a bit of magic here, stringing a few plays together. Kalyango now, again into Hamza Chinyera. Hamza Chinyera maintains possession. Rams continue to recycle this, bringing in Ochan Brian now. Ochan takes a dummy and a hit. Rams still in possession. Chinyera Hamza. He has Kabogoza Hashim on the outside. Hamza pumps, huffs and pumps some more and moves until he manages to ground that ball. The Rams are very persistent, but the Heathens are not relenting in their defense. Hashim, Kabogoza Hashim. It's quite a number of phases the Rams have put together, and the Heathens, what a mighty turnover that was. Shoulder to shoulder, the yellow machine just washes the Rams over. Here is Sulangobi. Crossover from the Rhinos at the start of the season. And in comes Akira Komakech, the Man Mountain. Champara Herbert now finds Aaron of Oiroth with a lengthy pass into Otema, who's up against Onek a little bit. Or beats him with so much is Obito just went clutching at the yards in Otema's shot. And now here is Santos Senteza. Big man running. Faiz Ogama brings in Joachim Chisano. Big fend off against Rigan Mungu. Swings him from left to right. And finally goes down for the ruck of Oiroth Aaron. Lawrence Sebuliba. That should be a release. Yes. Heathens now having their turn to work. Peter Bisaso. Beautiful ankle tackle there from the Rams to bring Bisaso to a halt. Now Oiroth brings some of his sevens antics that we've seen a lot on TV, and there is a foot race here. Ball bounces clumsily, and Aaron of Oiroth, does it look like he got that? I'm afraid he did not. I'm afraid he did not. And the referee looks like he's signaling a knock-on. He looked like he had signaled a knock-on because he had awarded the Heathens a scrum down in the 5, but he has had to move over to consult the touchline judge, the assistant referee, Timothy Tumwesije, a man who knows these grounds inside and out. And now he has come to a decision. He decides that the try has been killed. Ball has gone dead. The Rams managed to bring it dead, and they will have a goal line drop. But Aaron of Oiroth, that trickery we have seen him display for the national sevens team. He brings it back for the Heathens. They have really missed him because the times they had him around, that was the kind of injection he used to add into this team. And today they are very happy to see him pull the strings as the fly-half position. The Heathens are looking like they're enjoying themselves, really. The big boys are running like backliners. Santos Centers has been seen there a couple of times, so has Peter Bisaso. Had it not been for their body shape and build, you would have thought that the national team has got some really big backliners. But then we remember these are props. But they're doing very, very well. The Rams, on their own part, they have tried to pull something together, and they've had a number of phases. It's just not working yet, and the Heathens are still owning this game with a 7-0 advantage. Sebuliba. Tackle at the knees from Juko Ryan, and the ball is lost forward. Opileni Ozana uses this opportunity to try to find a 50-22 kick of his own, but Kalema is there before him, responds with another deep kick of his own, and the rugby ball is bouncing clumsily here, but Michael Kalyango manages to secure it and sends the pass out. It's become a kicking contest, and now it's Santos Senteza. Might he fancy a kick himself? You never know. Open your eyes. Oh my God, he does it. And the fans are livid. Now Michael Kalyango. What price is there to pay for Santos Senteza's adventures? Michael Kalyango, crunchy tackle by Michael Okorach. Yes, that is what a Michael affair is looking like right here. One Michael for an, oh my God, Michael Okorach rolling back the ears right there, going really low for Michael Kalyango, who, by the way, is one of the lowest centers of gravity on the pitch at the moment. Scoops him out, and boy, does he do all the malice unto him there. Clean tackle, lands him flat on his back. Yes, young man meeting experience on the other hand. Fierce, fierce stuff. When one Michael meets another, that's the kind of story we tell. The Rams now have a penalty. I like how the game is opening out. Each of the teams starting to express themselves more and more, both in attack and defense. We saw Santos there. I told you there might be something about these big boys. Maybe they want to audition for something in the backline of the national team or of their clubs next season, because boy, are they enjoying themselves. Santos Centers are just casually kicking that ball, and I must say it was an honestly beautiful kick, because it took a bounce and it took a minute before Michael Kalyango could get to it. It's just that he's a speedy man, and he found Michael Okorach ready to defend. Brilliant action. And now we have a break, a few consultations with the referee as the Rams prepare to take this penalty to bring this to a 4-point game. A dark cloud of boredom looms on the horizon of the Rugby League that is coming to an end this very evening. As a matter of fact, we have just a few more minutes to witness it. You wonder what is going to happen to the players in that period of time, because we've been accustomed to seeing them perform week in, week out for the last 18 weeks. But before that, let's see what the Rams can make of this penalty. Looks good. It's just short. And Sulangobi kicks Heathens into safety there. Finds the glue-like hands of Ozana Opileni. Sends out a long pass into Michael Kariango. With a handoff on Haba Champara. Sends the ball over to Obito, who was surprisingly a lot of acreage to run into. But he is gruesomely tackled there by Santos Senteza. And the referee's keen eye catches the Heathens entering from the side. And you can see the young man, Regan Mungu, going up against Lawrence Sebuliwa, testing him with a handoff, trying to see if he's still able to stand and maintain his stability. And Sebuliwa smiles it off because he knows what young passion can do. He has been there, he has done that. The Rams have another penalty. You feel like this is a game of very slim chances for them, and they should be able to pocket the few that they get. And right now, Ozana Opileni, there's been a change of kicker. He's going to try his fortunes. The wind is largely against him, but let's see what his boot can do to manipulate that. The kick is high, but it's not far enough, and Aaron Oferoth has it now. He's one we know that can do a very well done up and under, medium rare, and there is testimony to it. Rams play this ball on Haba Champara. This should be like the 4th or 5th tackle he's missing in this game. He's not been very tenacious in that department. Neither has he run the ball yet. But luckily, he has not been caught for any fatal mistake. And now the Rams enjoying the lion's share of the referee's call. Many of the decisions the referee is awarding are going for the Rams. You think that they should use this purple patch to put themselves in a good situation. Sulangobi has to call on his ancestors with his hands high up there to maintain his stability in the corner. But now here's Shadon. Shadon, lovely dummy from, oh, and a big fend, but he loses the ball in contact, and Limbo, the Heathens, the former Heathens man who has been on the receiving end of that very huge fend, manages to pinch it back for the Rams, and it's there now for Kaliango. Brings it back into his back line. Otema, ferocious tackle from the 7th superstar. Michael tests the waters and then runs back. Now Jeff looks like he has lost that ball. That should be a penalty for the Rams. Regan's hands are around the neck of Shadon Munoko. A lot is going on there, and the referee is just letting the play go on. And now Regan Mungu is here with Cloud Otema. He has Cloud Otema in the sky, and it's a penalty for the Heathens for a foul on Cloud Otema. Michael Okorach. This is Michael Okorach of 2007. Breaks the line and then hits the contact. You love to see that. Champara now with a carry into Santos Senteza. Tries to twist and turn out of that tackle. And he manages to revolve the ball. And it's now in the hands of the industrious Joaquim Chisano. Bisaso Peter twisting and turning. finding the gap. Now finds Ogama. Brings back Scott Oloch. Oloch breaks that gap. That's the man that scored 20 tries last season. A record that only Pius Ogena can surpass if he does get some points for him in that game against the Pirates that's going on right now at Legends Rugby Grounds. Ofoiroth, Chisano. There might be a gap here. Yes, there is for Joaquim Chisano. But an Anko Taco at the very end saves that day, at least for the moment. And the ball is lost forward. And the Rams survive yet again. It will be a scrum down for the Rams in their own 5. You can see some of their players are now strewn onto the ground. The game is becoming tougher and tougher. And you have to commend them, the Rams, for showing up for this fixture, honoring it. You feel for them because it has been a wonderful 8-year romance with the top flight division. They have gotten better and better over the years. In fact, it's very hard to believe that this is the same Rams because last year they secured 6 wins out of 18 games. They finished a remarkable 6th position. It should have been, or 7th. They looked like they were really on the rise. They had young boys coming through. They had featured on the under-20 national team. They had their coach in that setup as well. It looked like it was a story of from grace to more grace for the Rams coming into this season, but it has been something alike to a script being flipped because they have gone the whole length of the season without winning a single game. Sharp, stark contrast to the team that they were just a year ago, and now they will have to go down to the championship and reconstruct their fortunes yet again, while we welcome one of the 4 teams that will be going into the playoffs a few weeks from now. That's a glorious kick by Hashim Kabogoza, the under-20 international, been capped twice, or rather has been capped for 2 different tournaments, 2 years back-to-back. So by the time he turns 21, you feel like he's going to have secured a lot of experience that's going to make him a very enviable player for the rest of the clubs around. You also believe that the Rams indeed has so many young players, so the championship will be a good time for them to mature some more. You feel like by the time they come back, they will be a stronger team. But of course, the administration has an already uphill task of making sure that they maintain most of these players, because some of them are starting to see a star ahead of their careers, and they want to keep that momentum going by playing in the top flight. But well, that's all speculation, stories for another day. For today, we are looking at the Rams, a significant number of minutes into the game, still holding the Heathens by 7 points. Oh, the Heathens are leading 7 points to 0, but the Rams look like they are doing their part to make sure that they're not conceding any more points and defending through attacking. Audacious jump at 6. That ball is biased, and the Heathens will have a scrum down. Michael Okorach, the big man running. Akira Kwamakech, he lifts his knees really high in his runs. That kind of makes him even more difficult to tackle, as though having such a huge frame was not a threat and a challenge already for the defenders. Here is Suleiman Ngobi. Joaquim Chisano now. Santos Senteza easily shoves Regan Mungu out of the way and sets up his counterpart, Peter Bisaso, to be defended against by the same man. And Regan Mungu is caught victim this time for not releasing. And Faisal Gama gets the ball already in motion. Taking their time to work it there, the Heathens knocking closer and closer. And the referee calls for a penalty for the Heathens. The Rams were caught lacking offside. And the Heathens look like they're deciding whether to play that, to tap and go, or to go for a scrum down. But the wise head of Faisal Gama, with all its experience, calls for a scrum down. And the men will arch their backs now, because that is the decision that has been summarily agreed upon. Oh no. It is not Michael Korash that you would want to knock that ball on, but the Rams are yet again caught offside. And this time the Heathens look like they're changing their decision and they're going to play that ball. Here they come with the first phase. It's big, a very, very big industrious carry over there by Sean Basemira. He was definitely going to be a whole lot of muscle, a whole lot of Rams defense that was waiting for him, and he just went and bullied them, bustled his way over. A lot of work, a very big handful, and the Rams concede, surprisingly, just the second try of the game. Given how it has gone, you would have thought the Heathens are playing in a comfortable spot. You may think they have already secured the game with 3 tries or more, but it is only the second, and Sulaiman Ngobi will have the task of converting to complete the full set of points that could be achieved from their scores so far. Sula Ngobi. The fans can't believe it. The fans really can't believe it. He sends the ball so wide. It's like his boot was taken over by a storm. Misses the mark. It looked very easy, really. But in a game of rugby, those are some of the occurrences that you expect. At Legends Rugby Ground, there's a thing of a referee's nightmare because the jerseys look like they are both blue and black. It will be quite the day for the referee. I really hope he has a good one. But the scores, you could say the Pirates, as things stand, have one hand on the trophy with 3 penalties slotted in. That should presumably be off the boot of Ivan Magomu, while the Cobs are yet to register any point. 12 to the Heathens and 0 to the Rams. Of course, a lot of action going on across a number of rugby venues in the country, and we shall definitely be bringing you up to speed as per which games. And of course, you can also be sure that you will enjoy the highlights in record available time as fast as possible. So you will watch the highlights of every game, and all this can be found only on the Kawowo Sports YouTube. So if you've not managed to watch a game at a venue that you would have wanted to watch, be sure that Kawowo will bring you the highlights as soon as possible. But for this game, you can definitely catch the replay as soon as kickoff, as soon as the game is called off by the center referee. So the Heathens and Rams fans who are watching us on the move, on the go, and you feel like the aspects of the game you may miss, you'll be able to watch that in no time. Scott Oroch fumbles the ball there and makes up for it with a very dominant tackle. But the Rams will regroup for yet another scrum down. You feel they should get a chance They should get something out of this game. They have not played badly at all. Nine zero to the Pirates with the halftime beckoning. We are in the evening hours of the first half. We are in the wee moments of the half. And with all games of the weekend kicking off at the same time, we believe that the curtains will fall on halftime at relatively the same time across all the venues. So the scores will be coming in very timely when that moment rolls around. Michael Kalyango to feed the Rams back into action. He does that beautifully, and Gama looks like he just stands there and watches him. Now Juko Ryan into Hashim Kabogoza. Cheeky chip trying to find Obito, but the ball just does not wait for the man. Bounces into touch just before Obito could find his footing, and the Heathens are benefiting from that decision with a line out deep in their own territory. Easily done by the Heathens. And now Faisal Gama's already time-tested hands bring the first phase into action. Sulaiman Ngobi now takes a good kick. Very good kick by Sulaiman Ngobi. Finds wonderful touch. At Chadondo, the Buffaloes are 14-0 up against the Impis, while in Jinja Dam Waters, the Hippos are 14-3 up against Walukuba Barbarians. It is a game about the game between Mongas and Rhinos, for which we have not yet established the scores. But as we speak, Captain Ivan Magomu at Legends is having a finale of his life, being 100% off the boot, 3 kicks successful out of 3 attempts. It's the kind of gear you want your captain to be in a fixture of that magnitude. And the Pirates are happy that they can have him as a man to turn to. That's wonderfully done by the Rams this time. Remember, they are 12-0 down. And now Akira Komakech somehow fails to make that tackle. Kabogoza Hashim. Opileni Ozana. Oh, it's Opileni Ozana. He turns the graveyard into a dance floor, dances past everybody, and now Juko Ryan takes a dummy, and he's ferociously tackled there by Lawrence Sebliba. Michael Kalyango brings, they have a lot of space here, such big space to run into, but a crazy decision there to come back into Sean Basemera. You wonder why he had to do that. Now Brian Ochan tries to use his muscle, and the Rams have broken the line. Aaron Ofoiro for the defense. He will not do the job. That should be a penalty try, 100%. That should be a penalty try. The Rams are not, Michael Kalyango is not happy with his teammates because he believes they should have tried to score that closer to the poles so that they could at least get an easily How he just raises his hand and tackles the on-running. It should have been Regan Mungu. We're yet to confirm. The tackle is very, very high. Deliberately done, and he should be penalized. The law says he should be temporarily sent off or permanently dismissed, but we are yet to see what the referee has commented, and I think Aaron Ofoeroth has been sent to the sin bin. Aaron Ofoeroth, who had just come off a yellow card, commits another bookable offense, and that's all she wrote. That will be his day's work now. And there he walks. You can see him cutting a very haggard frame. He has even loosened the band that holds his hair up. It is a done day, and the Heathens will be a man less from now on, which must be something that the Rams will be rejoicing over. And it has been awarded indeed as a penalty try. So the game is 12 to the Heathens and 7 to the Rams. The joke around is that Aaron Ofoeroth can get out of his playing kit and join the fans because his season has surely come to an end already, prematurely. Hosanna Opileni, that's a very high kick, and there's a bit of miscommunication between Shadon and Sulangobi, which results into Sulangobi staying down for a second, but now Santos Senteza is the train trusted to carry the goods. Faizo Gama into Bisaso Peter. That's just enough. And George Scotty now. George Scotty goes past Limbo, takes a man, 2-3 with him. Yes. And now it is Lawrence Sebuliba. A scoop tackle by Obito, which leaves Obito more in pain than Sebuliba, but Michael Korach is here making fodder of the Rams defense. He just chews and glides and eases and waltz past all of them. 3, 4, 5 handles. Oh my God, that was a lot of brown display there by Michael Korach. And with a lot of ease, he gets the third try for the Heathens, although they have not yet moved into the bonus point position. Very, very good try by Michael Korach. He just capitalizes on that moment where everybody is having their eyes on Lawrence Seburiba over that tackle that had him flipping over. Everyone is watching, and Michael Korach just picks that ball. Fence 1, fence 2, fence 3, keeps running, fence 4, fence 5, and just finds himself in acres of space and grounds that ball with a lot of ease and grace. And now the Heathens look like they are searching for 2 extra points to bring this game into the last phase of its teenage ages at 19. Sulaiman Gobi has no problem splitting the uprights on this attempt. And yes, that will be 19 for the Heathens. And the Rams will still be back at 7, still chasing the pack. It's halftime at Legends. It is 9-0 to the Pirates. The Cobs are trailing. They will need to score at least twice to be able to get back into the lead. That is at least a converted try or a try and 2 penalties. So the minimum the minimum score they can get is 2 attempts at it. Rams here. And it is Scott Oroch, past Jeff, past Regan. There goes Oroch, looking like a Viking, like a son of Ragnar. And he's penalized for not releasing the ball. Now Hamza Chinyera. Hamza Chinyera a bit too eager to get the action back underway, but the referee calls the mark back. How about Champara? There again receiving. And the Heathens are penalized for not being back 10. And Michael Kalyango has caught them napping. He steps into the wrong place. It looked like he had a lot of space on the inside of Cloud Otema. But when he goes into that contest between Cloud and Herbert Champara, his dreams are shattered way before they could materialize. It's an awkward pass. He almost claims it again, but Michael Okorach beats him to it and is trying to get off again. The game is physically demanding, and a number of players are going down to a bended knee. The most recent of them being Scott Oroch. Now Joachim Chisano. Chisano skins Obito, sets up some 7 spots. Joachim Chisano has Michael Kalyango for the tackle, beats him, takes Regan Mungu on the safe border and grounds under the poles. Wonderful try by Joachim Chisano. His father will be looking upon him with so much pride there and beaming. Beautiful. Did that just happen? Did you see that? I hope you saw it. I hope you didn't blink, because Sulang Ngobi has just committed kicker's sacrilege. After all that tremendous work by Joachim Chisano to get that ball under the poles, Sulang Ngobi kicks it with the hunger of an inexperienced young man, and he just sails it wide. And the Heathens, who could have been moving to a score of 26, will now be at 24, while the Rams will remain at 7. The Heathens fans look like they are very livid with Sulang Ngobi because of that kick. You might want to ask them to step on the pitch and play. Let the players do their part and let the fans do theirs. Here's Scott Oloch now. Oloch. The tackle is by Jeff, another very loyal servant of the Rams. And they have a man down in so much pain here. A lot of pain. And while the Rams have been caught for offside, there is a man writhing in pain for the Rams. And the medical teams have been called into action. So has the substitute. Just in case the action needs to go on. But we really hope he can get fine. End-to-end stuff that has happened today. Very, very impressive from the Heathens. I must say not bad from the Rams. Although you feel like they could have got more from this at this moment. Now for now, they have a man receiving medical attention. And the ball is in the safe hands of Michael Okorach, as it has been for close to 2 decades now. And there he is. He's chaperoned the Heathens very well today. Did even more excellently with that try. Should be, if there was a highlights reel for tries of the day, that one should feature very high at the top of the list. He's off. The try scorer. He seems not to have passed the concussion test in the moment, and the medical team will be giving him some more attention for now as the action returns with the Heathens line out. Sulangobi, having taken that very harsh scathing by the Heathens fans in the stands with a lot of positivity and repaying their support and their highly entitled counsel to him with a very beautiful kick. Well done by Oluoch. Sean Basemera now. Big man running. He really is a task to hand over there. And now Faiz Ogama smashes Michael Kalyango there. The Heathens Maulers now set up, and it's moving at such a very high speed. The velocity of the maul is threatening, and the ball is ripped out illegally by the Rams. And there is a penalty for the Heathens. It is a substitute. Caesar Ankunda, and he is more known here as Pizza. Regan Mungu there already in the thick of the action, where you need someone to rough things up. That young man will come in handy. Your typical average scrappy, nasty flanker. So he will do his job very honestly like any frank man. And he always delivers for the Rams when they come calling. Regan Mungu is sent to the sin bin. Again, a bit of deja vu here at the graveyard, because that should be the second time. Now Lawrence Sebuliba with a busting run, trying to break the line there. But the Rams solid in defense. Faiz Ogama dummies and goes on his own, and he is over. Faiz Ogama, one of the longest serving rugby players in the land at the moment, adds another crown of glory to his long illustrious career. And there goes the celebration. Number one, the number one scrum half in terms of games played, in terms of caps, in terms of longevity in the game, and in terms of staying evergreen, because he puts up a performance of a 24-year-old every time he steps out. Faiz Ogama, that is the fourth try of the game for the Heathens, and now the bonus points are in the bag for the moment. Well done by Ronald Kalema. And that is the action that brings us to halftime. A strong, convincing lead by the Heathens, who stand at 29 at the moment. Oh yes, with Ronald Kalema's conversion, the game is at 31 for the Heathens, and the home side, the Rams, who are also a man down, although theirs is only temporary, are boasting of only 7 points on the scoreboard as we march on into the remaining 40 minutes of the game. See you when the second half returns. The teams are listening, huddling over to listen to some of the final instructions of what the referee deems necessary legal play and what he will not be accepting in the remaining 40 minutes. This is a point where they have to listen very keenly, the words of their captains, the words of the referee, and maintain a level-headed temperament to this game, because this is an honorable game. And violence is only applied within the precincts of the laws. Sulaiman Gobi has come into his element off the boots in the later half, in the later period of the first half, and you hope that he's going to carry the same aggro into the second in the 40 minutes we have. The referee, Kabagambe, is just making sure everything is set, everything is spick and span, and having confirmed that it really is, he calls for play to resume, and Sulaiman Gobi chokes us off. Wonderful aerial claim by Claudio Tema. Very dexterous player in the air, and Shadon Munoko. Faizo Gama sees him with a very ferocious charge and releases him into the space. Now he has shown Basemera. He's already been the man this game, and he sets up for a ruck, of which Gama uses the opportunity to release Santos Senteza, and quickly into the second half, the Heathens deliver yet another onslaught on the Rams. Santos Senteza is the man who finally gets his efforts of breaking the lines time and time again today rewarded with a try. He just receives that ball from Faizo Gama and creeps away from the Rams defense, and where he feels like he's held, he just stomps over with a lot of power, and he's Kalima lines up the conversion, and his kick does not meet the decision he was trying to make. The execution and the decision were not in tandem, and the Heathens, that should be a third unconverted try. They've scored the tries all right, but they've not nailed the extras with precision, which is not the case with Pirates, because Ivan Magomo has converted Timothy Odong's try that has put the Pirates in a 16-0 lead at the Legends Rugby grounds. Michael Kalyango now. What does Michael Kalyango do with Claudio Tema? Nothing at all. It looks like Claudio Tema slams Michael Kalyango into the ground. It looked like it was a moment of boiled intensity, flaring emotions, and lack of control, because it looks like he has slammed Michael Kalyango there into the ground, and that would be an illegal tackle. One that getting it. Him and just very violently slams him deep into the ground on the outside. It is a Heathens line out for now, as the players continue to appeal to the referee and wait for his decision. It looked clean. That the Rams players are complaining about. It looks like Michael Kalyango, who is now down receiving attention, was slammed. And if the referee concludes that that is indeed dangerous play, Claudio Tema will be on the receiving end of a punishment, or probably a temporary or permanent suspension from this game. Referee has come to a conclusion, and I think he says it was good to go, and he awards the line out to the Heathens, and Cloud Dotema walks away scot-free from that moment, and rightfully so. Beautiful line out to bring in Faizo Gama, and Dotema knocks that ball forward, and the Rams have a chance to break here. They are on the advantage. The Heathens have been caught offside. And now Michael Kalyango brings in Brian Ochan, who just carries a little. Here they come again. Ryan Juko fumbles that pass, and the Rams will go back to the advantage. He was trying to release Hashim Kabogoza, who was there flanking him in support. But his thinking was that he already had the ball, and he just let his eyes off it for a second. And he knocked it forward, but the Rams already enjoying the advantage, and the referee calls them back for it. Booting duties, having seen desperate attempts from his teammates, including Gozana Opileni, who failed to convert. Actually, looks like Kalyango has walked away from it. Yes, he has. And the responsibility reverts to their primary first choice kicker. Let's see what he gets out of this one. Looks like he has done well. Yes, he has. And the flags are up, flying at full mast, because the Rams have now entered the double figures in this game. The score is 36-10 as we speak. Sulangobi. That ball does not cross, but a very quick reaction from the Rams. And it is that young man sets up a foot race now with Lawrence Sebuliba, and the ball goes dead. It will be interesting to know the decision the referee is going to take. Interesting decision he's making right now. Because if it is indeed that he had turned over the advantage, there is no way that is supposed to be a goal line drop. It is supposed to be a scrum down for the Heathens deep into the territory of the Rams. But as we can see, very interesting eyes from the referee. He actually claims that in that moment, after that kick from the Rams, the Heathens made contact with that ball at that point where he has awarded the mark, which means that the ball went dead because the Heathens were the last team to play it. So we come back at the point where they made the last contact, and the Rams get a scrum down at that position. Or not, because it was actually a hidden scrum. Interesting call. We will definitely want to see how the referee will justify that. But for now, Sulangobi is in possession. That looks like a penalty. Should have been a penalty for the Heathens, but the referee lets the play on. They have two men down now in Shadon, and it should be Suleiman Ngobi. Faizo Gama to recycle. He has Peter Bisaso awaiting. Skips him. Finds Sulangobi. Sulangobi goes for a kick. Sends it on the lower end. But the Heathens are outnumbered here. And what a wonderful sidestep from the young man. He loses that ball. The referee says it goes back. And the Rams maintain the possession. Here they come again. Limbo dance. Former Heathens player. Tackled high. And the Rams have a penalty, which you can guess they'll be kicking. But first, They try to recycle it some more, and the referee calls it. Now Michael Kalyango starts the ball quickly, and Lawrence Sebuliba gathers him. And he loses that ball forward in that tackle. Lawrence Sebuliba just collects. He collects Michael Kalyango like a landlord collecting rent. Gathers him and just puts him down. And Kalyango loses that ball. Now the Heathens will feel like they've been let off because he can be a very dangerous man. Once he breaks that line, Kalyango, he has very quick feet. He can dance. And he has a lot of experience. He can score. For now, though, playing off a scrum down. The Pirates have notched in the second try of the game, and what we knew as 16-0 is now 23-0 to the Pirates because Ivan Magomu has made no mistake with the extras, and the trophy looks like it is making a maiden appearance in Kings Park Boyogerere this year, but we still have a lot of time to play for. Anything can happen, but for now, the Pirates look like they are starting to stretch out the second hand to hold those big ears. And now Scott Oloch, glorious offload into Claudio Tema. He will be very hard to stop here. Claudio Tema, ferocious handoff on Ozana Opileni. And Opileni manages to come back and collect that ball. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What a big handoff that was. It required the support of Pisa to come and help out Ozana Opileni because that man approaching was running at very high speed. That was going up out of that pending thumping by the Heathens. Heathens working it now. That's a big carry by Akira Komakech. Doesn't cover so many meters, but Shadon on the other hand does cover a decent few. Gama Faizo brings in Sean Basemira, who has had a very good outing today. And Faizo now, he has Santos versus Kalyango Michael. He is not yet there, and Gama Faizo chips that ball, just pops it into Shadon Monoko, who's just there waiting with his hand stretched out, and Shadon collects. The Rams attempt to steal a scrum down of this one, but the Heathens manage to control it, and they have numbers on the outside now. Michael Korach with the chicken wing. KFC. Get a goal line drop to save them from their woes at the moment where they have spent most of the time in the back foot. Advantage Heathens now. They've called for their scrum down. They're ready to get working. Ball is out now. All watch. But the referee deems that illegal. He had not yet got the play. He had not yet permitted play to restart. As things stand, the Rams will still be gritting and gnashing their teeth because they have to defend this hidden scrum down. And the ball is out to Scott Olwoch. He's open and cuts through with so much ease, like a hot knife on easily melted butter. Just sears through, really. The Rams are just watching him go, and he's gone. That's the story there, really. They are watching him run in, just watching, and in a flash, you blink, you miss it. Scott Olwoch is over, and that's another try for the Heathens. There is a new man on the boot. He has just returned from the under-20 national team duty, where he performed very excellently. And his first attempt is almost, he has very good technique for it, that young man. Julius, yes, was a fullback for the national team under-20 at the Bats tournament. And he was one of those players that had us applauding from our seats most of the time. And you could see the technique was really enviable. He almost had it, but it was just the natural factor of the wind that swerved the ball away from his intended target, took it westward, took it eastward, and the conversion was missed. That's a great, great boot. What a wonderful boot by Suleiman Gobi. What is he on? I think since the time he was rebuked by the Heathens fans, he has another injection of energy running in him. Oh, it looked like a Rams player had got in contact with the ball. It looked like that was the call the referee was making. But the ball has gone straight into touch off the kickoff. That should be a scrum down for the Rams at the halfway line. Everyone is communicating something to the referee, and the referee looks like he is lost at the moment. And he calls for a stoppage for a moment to lose Hamza Chinyera, who is up there in his ear speaking so much. This should have been an easy decision, really. We are yet to see what Kabagambe decides. Yes, that young fullback for the Heathens, shirt number 22 that you've seen try to kick that last conversion is none other than Oyuk Julius. Yes, that is the name. He's graduated from their academy setup of the Stallions, and he's now coming to swim with the big fish at the Stadia El Swampunu. Scrum down. And somehow it's Heathens ball. Scott Oroch releases Michael Okorach. Michael Okorach deals with the tackle on him. How has he managed to stay on his feet for all those meters covered? He runs about 20 or 30 meters and releases Sean Basemera, who's scooped at the knees by the Rams. Now Akera Komakech, the next big man to run. And Gama is relentless, setting them all up. Lawrence Sebuliba goes beastly into Ryan Juko, leaves him helpless, leaves him for dead. And the Heathens now are very, very close, painstakingly close to the try area. Are they over? The Rams players are hands up in protest, saying there's been a knock-on, that the Heathens have lost that ball in contact, and referee Kabagambe will need to stop the clock yet again. Sometimes there are so many frames that happen in a rugby game within a second. The referee may only be able to see 2 or 3, and that is a possibility right there below at the corner of the pitch, because the Heathens look like they've lost the ball forward, and now the referee will get guidance from his assistant on the touchline, and we shall have a decision for play to resume. From Entebbe, where the Mongas are hosting the Rhinos, the scores coming in is that the home side is on 8 points, while the Rhinos have scored 15 and are in the lead in that game over there, which means that if scores stand as they are, there will be no change in the setup on the table from number 4 downwards. All positions will remain the same. And in the game between Hippos and Walukuba, it is right now 19 points for the Ginger Hippos and 3 for their young Walukuba brothers. And what seemed like it was a knock-on by the Heathens to lose that ball in contact looks like it has been awarded as a penalty try. Yes, it has been awarded as a penalty try, and the Rams have a man down. The very same man who came on as a substitute has been now sent back into the sin bin. And that should be the 4th penalty try won by the Heathens this season. And the chant in the stands will signal to you who it is that has scored that try, and it is a brace for Faizo Gama, the evergreen, the man that does not age, the vampire-blooded Faizo Gama scores yet another try for the Heathens, and they are now running riot against the Rams. Another deep kick, this time fielded elegantly by Michael Okorach, who finds his way out of the tackle, and it is Jeff who brings him down with a hug. Oloch, Pastor Chan, and Pizza manages to hold him. Now Bisaso, big man to hold up, and Akera Komakech this time round covers a lot of ground, very positive ground. And Oloch Scott now, very good phases. Faizo Gama just marshalling this game with a lot of tenacity. And Oyuk Julius, that is the name. Remember the name, Oyuk Julius, and he's gone, but does not make it. Offloads into Lawrence Sebuliba, who decides to use his hand to fend over. And it's try time, or is it? Oh my God. Yes, try awarded to the Heathens. A brilliant piece of magic from the young man Oyuk Julius. He just receives that ball, and it is Pizza who's there to tackle. The heat that he receives must be sending shockwaves down his spine. And Oyuk Julius is in a lot of positive ground. Is in a lot of profitable real estate, and he's gone. He's far away from the Rams back. but only just to bring him down, because Oyuk Julius then releases a chicken wing offload straight out of KFC Streetwise 2 into Lawrence Sebuliba, who with the help of a handoff pushes Michael Kalyango out of his way and grounds for another Heathens try. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And now Oyuk Julius has a chance to stretch that lead further with his first successful conversion attempt. Here goes. Take a look at this. Oh no. He has delivered there after a solo run that puts the Heathens further into the driving seat in this game. Nicholas Kato sets up Michael Korach. Michael Korach is snapping out of tackles with so much ease. He's having no challenge. Here comes Akira Komakech. Yet another good run from him. And now Nicholas Kato has come on for Faizo Gama. Kick and chase. Oyuk Julius is having a field day. Sets up Lawrence Oliver. Where has he been, this young man? He's making a mess, an absolute menace out of himself. He then set up the platform. It's getting interesting here. Sean Baseka. Big hit on Limbo. It does not look okay. And Julius Oyuk is definitely tearing the Rams apart. And there looks like there has been a tip tackle by the Rams. Should be on Hamza Chinyera or Oregon Mungu. It looked like it was a tip tackle, while Oyuk Julius is signaling the referee, complaining that there have been some indecent touches to his nether regions by the Rams. Something that, you know, is not new to a rugby ear when it comes to this team. With the most extreme punishment, because that seemed like very dangerous play that could have resulted into something much more serious for that young man, Oyuk Julius, who has been very, very stellar the few seconds he has spent on the pitch, a few minutes he has spent on the pitch rather. They're already past the half century. Grounds, because the score is still 23 to the Pirates and 0 to the Cobs. Earlier today, one of the fans on one of the television stations was making his prediction, and he said that this is a game of usually very high scores but very fine margins, so they expected it would be a 7-pointer or a 5-pointer, but it turns out it's a 23-pointer, and the Pirates, like the sea robbers they are running away with the treasure. Another stoppage, something that has been a bit habitual in this game. It has been time and time again, play has been called into stoppage, and now the Rams are having a change of personnel, a change of guard, and it looks like it's their former club chairman who has jumped on. But Oyuk Julius, you want to see him on the ball, very fluid, very nimble of hand, and very soft in the foot. And now the Heathens have another line out. And Aziz Khan, who has not started this game, has finally jumped on. He is one of the more reliable players. There is never a gap on him. And you can be sure that he's going to enjoy this line out. It is going to be his first. And the carriers Santos Centers, Akira Komakech and Peter Bisaso should be very happy that they have him. He is light, they can carry him high, and he has the jumping technique that wins them matches. But first and more importantly, wins them line outs. There he goes, Aziz Khan again, beautifully done. Now the Heathens are setting up a running maul. What is coming of it here? It is Hamza, he is held up, and he has lost that ball forward. You feel like there's a bit of an itch in the hands of Nicolas Kato there, because he is the man that is guilty of losing that ball forward. He came to pick it. He was a little more hungry than the rest of the team. They were not at the same wavelength. And just thinking ahead of acting, he just loses the ball forward. And now the Rams can try only just to get themselves out of trouble here, to run that ball out of their 22. Ozana Opileni. Opileni with a very high boot. Oyuk Julius. Fields. Oh, this young man is a sight to behold. Sets up Ronald Kalima. Now the ball goes out into Claudio Tema. He can have a blistering run, but he loses his stability there. And the ball has to come down for a ruck. Julius Oyuk in position. Here he comes again. The pass is clumsy. And now the Rams had a chance to run with Regan Mungu. They still have the ball. Ryan Juko sends it wide. Oneka Litobito versus Michael Okorach. Experience versus speed. Pass 1, pass 2, pass 3 Obito. And is finally stopped by Santos Senteza. Ochan goes into Hamza and loses that ball forward. And the Heathens just ignore it. They let it go forward. They will come back to work out a scrum down here in their 22. Ryan Juko looked like he had a lot of time there to find an even better pass, but he swung the ball fast into Obito. It was an accurate pass regardless. Obito couldn't beat Michael Okorach. He had a lot of space on the outside. You felt like he could have tried to exploit that, but he chose to go back on the inside. And it was Santos Senteza who gathered him like a summer's harvest, put him in a sack, and completed that tackle. In Jinja, the Hippos have really put the Walukuba Barbarians onto the guillotine. And it is a 43-9 score over there at the Dam Waters, which means that the Hippos will have surpassed 50 points, and this will be their best ever rugby premiership season. It is something to write home about, because there has been a lot of work that has been put in the background there at the Jinja side. So for them to be able to surpass their career high and to go over the century is something their fans will be very happy about, something they'll rejoice. Scott Oloch is the latest victim of the Rams hold-up play. And it is Caesar, the artful dodger, in there with his hands ready to get dirty. And he pinches that ball with the skill of a Chifesi boy. And now Limbo, hard-running Limbo. First square, then tries to cut, but is finally tackled. And that should be a penalty for not releasing, rightfully awarded by referee Kabagambe. And the Heathens will get it back onto action. Nicolas Kato is looking for the gap. You can guess that is going to be held up there. Yes. Nicolas Kato. He has Peter Bisaso. Peter Bisaso delivers a big hit on Brian Ochan and his counterpart there, Regan Mungu. And now Michael Kalyango finds a loose ball. There is a very perfectly formed backline here. A good kick for Obito, foot race, Ryan Juko. But Michael Okorach is just there to make sure that none of the damage that is anticipated by the Rams is actually done. And the ball goes dead. And it will be a goal line drop for the Heathens. There was a very, very set back line here. The Rams could have run that ball by passing it, but their player had their eyes away. They had already made their decision that they were going to go for the grabber. They went for it. It almost worked, but unfortunately, almost doesn't count. Evening hours everywhere. That ball is biased. Yes, it is biased. It wasn't a straight throw. And the Rams now have a very profitable scrum down. The question is, though, will they be able to put it to good use? Or will they be good workmen, and if they fail to put it to good use, defend and blame themselves rather than pushing the blame onto the Heathens? At Shadondo, the Buffaloes looking to do a double over the Impis. It is 14 for the Buffaloes and 3 for the Impis in that game. While here Obito is being tackled, but the Rams have a surprisingly good overlap now. Hosanna Opileni cuts back into space. Why was that the decision he made? He had so much support on the outside. He had a lot of space, but now he brings the action back in the middle, and Rigan Mungu does the carrying. Ochan with a dummy, but Scott Olwoch meets him in equal measure. And now Caesar has Obito. Caesar goes for the chip. Caesar is not lucky enough to time his bounce. And the ball goes dead. But the Rams were on a penalty advantage, and they can recook something from here. They can do something here for sure. Ryan Juko sets up Opileni Ozana, dances forward, and is finally stopped. What a big hit. That should be Wadidi. Small man, but with the impact. Ochan Brian into Pizza. Pizza now finds Scott Olwoch, and somehow Ochan Brian is able to peel away from that maul with a lot of wit, and the Rams rather continue coming here. And finally, Hamza Chinyera, no! No, 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 no. Needed to hold that ball, but the hot potato came at the very end, and the Rams pot broke just as they go to enter. And now the 10-2 drop has been started by Marco Korach. No one is watching him. Lawrence Sebuliba, he has Cloud Otema for support, but first he skins his defense. And there he goes. He has Hosanna Opileni who goes to tackle him, but Sebuliba has run end to end. And here they come. Oyuk Julius. Yes, he sprinkles the caramel on top of the cake. The icing was already done with his display, and you cannot doubt that he deserved to put that ball down. He grounds, and it has been a very lovely outing for him. Heathens has been the team that always produces a backliner, especially a fullback of that ability. So we are not surprised that a player like Oyuk Julius is also coming through the ranks, and he picks that ball very wonderfully. Just step. And the Heathens are just waiting for a conversion. to get to the 60-point mark. High kick, as always. It is the distance that betrays them. Ugly sins, very ugly sins there from Pisa. Sums up the Rams season, really. He swerves out a hand in frustration there at the center referee. And I'm very surprised that the center referee is speaking with such calmness, because he is within every aspect of the law to punish Pisa maximally. He swerved his hand there. It looked like an attempt at assault of the referee, and he will be very, very lucky to walk away unscathed. It is just the mercy of the referee that Pisa is spared. Although we'll be very happy to hear what the union will think about that report, but for now, the Heathens conversion has to be retaken. Still wide. Definitely not a good kicking day. If Heathens had been converting most of these tries, it would be a very different story right now on the scoreboard. But for now, it is 58 to the Heathens and 10 to the Rams. Yes, it is confirmed. We shall have a new champion this season, and that will be none other than the Stanbic Black Pirates, having put up such a strong display, winning the game over there, 23 unreplied points scored. Ivan Magomu, 100% of the boot. So many good things to say. New kit on their shoulders, new home that they entered very recently, and a trophy, the second of the league, the second in their history. And they have done it again. Very, very many congs to coach Marvin Odong. He was part of the team technically that won the first trophy, and now is back as a coach. This time he's the man who's single-handedly responsible for those results. And now Claudio Tema Oribi collects that ball. Beautiful. Oh my God, he hands it out. It is to Onyango Pride, another one who has come up from the Stallions link. Onyango Pride, who celebrates with fellow Stallions graduate Oyuk Julius. Claudio Tema right there, setting the pace for the younger generation. Pride Onyango just follows him, and Otema, in the first place, does very well to chase that ball from Nicolas Kato. And Pride has his try on the final day of the season. It is Joachim Chisano coming up to convert this. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen. You are witnessing rugby heritage. The fans are up on their feet. You definitely want this to go on. The big man, Joachim Chisano, number 6, goes for the conversion. Yes, he gets it. Thank you very much, Heathens. We are very entertained. The fans love it. Oh my God. I am glad to have watched every moment of this. The fans love it. The rugby grounds have enjoyed that. Joachim Chisano takes the Heathens onto 65 points in this game. Wonderful, wonderful score. And then that conversion by Joachim Chisano. Now Brian Ochan is the scrum half. Of course, you would understand why that was the kind of pass he had to give out. But very well done for someone who's a makeshift scrum half in that position. And now the Rams, on yet another convincing of their phases, have knocked the ball forward. And the Heathens wanted to ask Aziz Khan to get into a foot race, but as a sevens player, that wouldn't have been difficult for him. The penalty goes the way of the Rams. What? Kalyango asks for the cone, and the Heathens, the Rams will be going for the poles. Celebrations already in high gear at Legends Rugby Grounds. Pirates have done it. Good kick, easily done. And that is 13 to the Rams, 65. Back underway. This should be some of the last plays today. And Juko Ryan has to take that boot. Checks out Scott Oloch, who fumbles, but luckily it goes back. And Oloch slows things down a bit. And he knows where to go. That looked like a seatbelt tackle on him. And the Rams have another penalty and a chance to boot yet again. But Nicholas Kato first makes sure that there is no quick restart, pinches that ball, and throws it back into Heathens territory. A high IQ decision. Zana Opileni, high kick, but without the direction. And it is supposed to be a combination of 3 different scientific processes. A high kick, a distant one, and a strong one. Once one of those elements is lacking, it's quite likely that it won't be successful. Now Obito Onekalit does well against Roger. Or rather, Roger does well against Obito, because that is the 3rd Stallions graduate in the Heathens fold this afternoon. Nicholas Kato again with that kick. And Otema Cloud is hot on the heels of Michael Kalyango. But Kalyango is crafty enough to get out of that. Boots into, Michael Korach. Fingertip catch by him. Now he goes into Obito, into Kalyango, into Hamza Chinyera, into 3, 4, 5 men. Michael Korach. Robust display over there. Here they come again now. Big fend on Jeff. He's feeling it. Nicholas Kato into Sean Basemera, who knocks it forward. And now they have a chance to try and work themselves out of trouble there. Oyuk Julius, he has touched that ball. He has touched that ball. And that is supposed to be a Rams line out. But it is a matter of knowing whether the referee, the assistant referee actually saw that contact. But Oyuk Julius did touch that ball. So it should be a Rams line out, and rightfully so. It is. John Tabu. Wonderful catch and sidestep there by him. That's a high tackle by Joachim Sanon Limbo just after Hamza Chinyera had received a crunching one from Pride Onyango there. And Limbo is in pain, but the Rams are playing on the advantage. And here comes Hashim Kabogoza. Hashim Kabogoza is tackled over there in the corner. And the Rams are still looking for a second try in the game, but Limbo is in pain. And Michael Kalyango will be restarting the game, but the referee calls for a stop because Limbo looks like he needs somebody to check on him. What decision will the Rams take here? Remember, the Heathens have played as 14 men for the larger part of this game. That is, if the fact that 65, the scoreline of 65 is not impressive enough, the fact that they've done it with a man less should be the story. Michael Kalyango for Ozana Opileni. There's a lot of space. Kabogoza Hashim. And the Rams have yet another penalty. Michael Kalyango starts very quickly, but is off the mark. Ryan Juko was starting to cock something of a reckless sidestep there, but the Rams are called back to the mark. And now here they come again. It's a tackle by Sean Basemera. Kalyango to Hamza. This time it is Scott Oloch that delivers the crunch. Limbo. Opileni. Hashim. Goes for the grabber, Hashim. Ball lost forward. There's an advantage here. Another advantage for the Rams. They've enjoyed so many good calls today. And for some reason, it looks like Pizza is tired of the action because he's signaling that they should go for the poles. But the Rams' big boys want to work. They still want to play. They do not agree with him. They do not subscribe to his school of thought. Brian Ochan. Brian Ochan scratches and carries. Does he lose that ball? Yes, he does. And now it is Lawrence Sebuliba's chance to run. Opileni Ozana has him. Opileni knocks that ball back, then picks it forward. And it should be a line out for the Heathens. But that will be the final piece of action for the day. And Lawrence Sebuliba might feel jilted. He might feel denied. But he will be overly impressed because the Heathens have put up a very, very strong performance. 14 men on pitch, a number of graduates from the Stallions featuring in this fixture, and then winning very, very healthily there on the scoreboard, 65 points to 13. This is the last we shall see of the Rams in the top flight, at least until the end of next season. And you can see them there, sportsmanly, shaking hands with the Heathens and their teammates. It has been 8 very good years. They've put up very good performances. They've made very many contributions. But for now, they have to go back to the championship, ready themselves and prepare themselves to come back better and stronger. The Heathens will finish second ahead of the Cobs. and it is the Pirates who have won the trophy. And for today, we have come to the end of our action. Thank you for watching Kawawa Sports. Thank you for following all the actions from the first game week to the 18th one. It has been an honor to bring you Ugandan Rugby service to you on your YouTube channel, in the comfort of your homes, on the road, or anywhere you have been. Keep supporting Ugandan Rugby. Thank you very much, Nile Special. Thank you very much, all the players and the fans that have made this a possibility. Uganda Rugby Union and all stakeholders, may rugby always win. See you the next time the camera is on a rugby pitch. May rugby always win.